Challenges are a part of life, but when an avoidable life challenge becomes a permanent lifestyle, then the challenge has not learnt any lesson. Suspected arsonists have set the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, office in Izi local government area ablaze, although no life was lost. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, said main building, 340 ballot boxes, 130 voting cubicles, 12 electronic power generators, large water storage, tanks, furniture, and yet to be determined quantities of permanent voters card, PVC, were all destroyed. Jide, what kind of pattern is this?
I don't know what these people are out to achieve, but let's not rule anything out.
Yeah.
Let's not rule anything out. There are people who have made up their minds that before their eyes, Nigeria must burn. There are people who do not even want this election to take place. Because there was a friend of mine who was saying, look, don't rule this thing out completely, that there may not be election. Have you not heard some people saying, are you sure there will be election? So when we start hearing this kind of stories that election may not take place, it makes sense to not simply dismiss such stories, because some people are probably somewhere who have made up their minds that, look, we must have maybe an interim government, this election must not happen.
National unity.
Because in our country, we've seen politicians, when things don't go their way, they go and connive with the military to say, military, come and take power. We've seen it happen in this country. This election was rigged, this and that, military, come and take power.
They're not even waiting for the election. They don't want it.
These ones, once they see that
The election.
the future does not bode well for them, at least the immediate future does not look rosy, they are prepared to throw spanner in the works, do whatever it takes to sabotage the process. People who are attacking INEC buildings with the intention of destroying INEC equipment and make INEC to find it difficult to summon enough capacity to be able to hold elections. We have to be very wary of them. We have to realize that
Close to the
this
election.
is a threat.
It's to the election.
This is a big threat. And they are going on. In 3 weeks now,
Just now.
in 3 weeks, they've attacked 3
States.
INEC, 3 states, 3 INEC facilities. If you are saying, oh, is IPOB in the east? Yes, at a point, unknown government and IPOB or whatever they call themselves were attacking.
But what happened in Ogun State?
But what do you say about Ogun and Osun? Is it IPOB that also operated there? So this is, in my view, part of a big conspiracy meant to ensure that we do not have elections. Between February 2019 and May 2021, 41 INEC offices have been destroyed. 41. And Imo State, yes, Imo at a point looked like
The epicenter.
the epicenter of lawlessness in our country. But there is some improvement in terms of security there now. But for them to come down, to the southwest, Abeokuta and Osun, that suggests to me that there is a bigger project that some people have to ensure that if things don't go their way, let them truncate the process.
The best way to stop that process is to stop INEC.
Yeah.
And when you are trying to hold them, we try to hamper the operations of INEC, it's 88 days to the election. I think the federal government should look in the direction of fortifying all the offices across the country.
Well, that would be the first thing to think about. Basically, that like Jide said, this is becoming a pattern.
Like this now, this is not in the state capital.
No,
this
no,
is in Izzi. Izzi is a local government in.
They look for isolated. They look
Ebonyi
for
State.
isolated cases, isolated buildings where they can do
But in Abeokuta,
maximum damage.
Abeokuta is in the
I don't think that this is going to stop anytime soon, if nothing is done quickly, because we are a
Look at
copycat.
the number of even generating sets, power generating sets that they destroyed. That's reducing capacity.
Yes.
Because we're a copycat country. Once somebody is doing something and they're getting away with it, people will copy what they are doing, and then somebody will be like a puppeteer.
But what we were told was that they had deployed security men to protect INEC facilities. So why would this happen?
Why would they even keep something like that in an isolated place? Is what baffles me. I thought by now all sensitive equipment will be in the one in the capital or with central bank. Somewhere everything is isolated and kept in one place until deployment, 3-4 days to the election. Because by putting this amount of hardware in an isolated place like that, you are telling us that you are not obeying your own rules of making sure things are protected. And that to me is the danger, because like we said in the case of the corruption,
340 ballot boxes.
nothing will stop me from thinking that somebody inside INEC is also aware of this somewhere.
I don't know how we can possibly think it's INEC people.
Because I don't understand. Because if you decided yourself,
fall into
State
category
if their
of
chairman
non-sensitive
decided
materials,
and
340
told
ballot
us
boxes,
that they are going to keep everything
120 voting
in one
cubicles.
place in the capital of the state, and you have this level of hardware in an isolated place, something is wrong. Because it was Mahmoud himself who said that they organize.
Or is it possible the voting cubicles, for example, is it possible to keep all of them in one place?
What happened to the cards? What happened to the things that they need? Because this is a local
They are
government.
not sensitive materials.
They are not
should be
sensitive
in their
materials.
location.
It's the PVCs
where
that they
it's going to be used. It is that
So we have to.
And another problem is, okay, PVCs are not supposed to be far away from the registration points where the people registered, so that it becomes easy for them to access.
Yes.
So if you look at a state like Cross River, if I want to use Cross River as an example, you can travel from one point within the state for more than 6 hours, going to another part of the state.
Ogoja.
The same thing with Taraba, you can even do 9 hours.
Same thing with Kogi.
You know? So in a big state like that, if we are to now move everything to the state capital, how will people be able to access their PVCs and the rest of them? It's just wherever we have INEC facilities, they just need to provide protection in those places and strong enough to withstand these good-for-nothing people. Because even in Abeokuta, they chased away the security people on duty. So we've got to provide strong. I know that the armed forces are stretched.
Overstressed.
Over.
Because to even everywhere INEC has offices, if you are to deploy soldiers
To 774 local governments.
it's
Most of the local
going
governments
to be
have-
really, really tough.
in
And
some
you will
local
still
governments
need
too.
them on election day. It's going to be tough.
So we
So
need to protect
I don't know
we need
what
to
these
protect
guys,
our
I don't know,
democracy.
frankly, I don't know what these guys are looking for. I don't know what they are
No,
looking
you
for.
said it.
In
They
3
just want to
weeks,
stop the election.
burn 3 INEC offices in 3 days, 3 weeks.
They just want to
It's
stop the
going
election
on, and it's going on. We have to find a way to stop it.
And one thing is very funny is that we don't get this corporate, we don't get them to confess to parade, to prosecute them.
On the 3rd of July 2022, in Enugu State, 740 ballot boxes were burnt in one location, and 240 cubicles. You need these cubicles at least to create a semblance of privacy, you know, so that people don't see who you are voting for.
Yes.
What do they expect people to vote in the open or what?
a lineup.
And then the second part of it is the 2 guys that they found 468 PVCs. But then one of them actually had 367
Doing
PVCs.
what? With these beavers, that thing is
It's
useless.
politicians that are behind this whole thing. It's politicians. One way politicians can also use this for their own advantage is where they know they are not strong enough, they can buy people's PVCs. Thereby
So that those people
disenfranchising.
will not turn up at all.
Yes, they won't. If you don't have
They don't
PVC,
have
you can't
PVC,
vote.
where are they
You have
gonna
nothing to do. So they may not actually be doing it with the intention of rigging. But this is rigging in another form.
Yes.
If you stop people, you stop their capacity to vote because you're taking away the tool with which they can vote. You have rigged the election. You found a way to pave way for yourself. So this is those who are buying ballot. Material. Those who are buying PVCs, they must realize that the law is very clear. The law says any person who without lawful excuse, that's section 117 of the Electoral Act, says any person who without lawful excuse has in his possession more than one voter's card or buys, sells, procures, or deals with a voter's card otherwise than as provided in this act commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a maximum fine of 1 million or imprisonment for a term of 12 months or both. Some of these laws need to be amended so that these boys can rot in jail. Because 1 million,
1 million.
Their sponsors will easily come up with
1 million naira.
With 1 million naira
Yes. So, I want to thank you. GKB. GKB lost his
I lost my younger sister
last week.
Yeah.
Our condolences.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The backroom staff and everybody here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
God grant you the fortitude to bear
Amen.
the loss.
It's a debt that we all owe.
Yeah, but
Our prayer is always that
not the young ones going
for
before
the
us.
years that the young ones, God should spare the young ones. We don't want to bury our younger ones.